Medicine is full of fascinating and rare real-life medical conditions. Some of them seem almost too crazy to believe, but you'd be surprised what humans can live with. Here are 10 real-life medical conditions you might have never heard of. 1. Akinetopsia. You're used to being able to see when something moves. Whether it's somebody walking or an object coming at you, this perception helps you to be aware of reality. But people born with Akinetopsia don't have the same perception. This rare real-life medical condition prevents people from seeing the motion of objects. Another way of understanding this is everything seems to be frozen in time, only to jump ahead in time and freeze again. 2. Foreign accent syndrome. It might be fun to copy a foreign accent, but for some people, they could be stuck speaking in a different accent for the rest of their life. Foreign accent syndrome is an ailment in which patients develop speech patterns that are perceived as a foreign accent that is different from their native accent. Foreign accent syndrome usually results from a stroke, but can also develop from head trauma, migraines, or developmental problems. This condition was first reported in 1907, and between 1941 and 2009, there were 62 recorded cases. 3. Exploding head syndrome. It might sound life-threatening, but it's actually not that harmful. Exploding head syndrome is an unfortunate real-life medical condition in which a person experiences unreal noises that are loud and of short duration when falling asleep or waking up. The noise may be frightening, but doesn't happen often and is not a serious health concern. People may also experience a flash of light during this condition. Though it may seem life-threatening, there is no pain associated and there is no harm caused as a result, but it can be quite unsettling. 4. Autobrewery syndrome. If I told you some people can get drunk without drinking alcohol, you probably wouldn't believe me. But it's true. Autobrewery syndrome is an unusual real-life medical condition where a person becomes drunk after the consumption of too many carbohydrates. It's even been used as a drunk driving defense. This disease can have profound effects on everyday life, as well as the recurring side effects of excessive belching, dizziness, dry mouth, hangovers, disorientation, irritable bowel syndrome, and chronic fatigue syndrome. It can lead to other health problems such as depression, anxiety, and poor productivity in employment. The typical treatment for this syndrome is a low-carb, high-protein diet. Prosopagnosia. Some people never forget a face, but very few can also never remember a face. Prosopagnosia, also called face blindness, is a cognitive disorder where the ability to recognize familiar faces, including one's own face, is impaired. One well-known person with this condition is former Colorado Governor and U.S. presidential candidate John Hickenlooper. While there's no treatment for this condition, sometimes it spontaneously resolves on its own. 6. Gourmand Syndrome. Some people really like gourmet meals, while others prefer burgers and fries. But there is an interesting medical condition that could completely change the hunger of those who prefer to eat pizza. Gourmand syndrome is a rare medical phenomenon in which people develop a new passion for gourmet food after a brain injury. It is characterized by an obsessive focus on eating, thinking, talking, and writing about fine foods. It is believed that the frontotemporal circuits, normally involved in healthy eating, when injured, can cause Gourmand syndrome in patients. 7. Myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy. Superman is a hero we all probably grew up wanting to be at one point. But in real life, there are people who actually possess superhuman strength like him. Myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy is a medical condition characterized by a reduced body fat and increased skeletal muscle size. Affected individuals have up to twice the usual amount of muscle mass in their bodies. They also tend to have increased muscle strength. Scientists have researched inducing this condition into animals with the hopes of someday using it to cure Parkinson's disease. 8. Aquagenic urticaria. If you're allergic to something, avoiding it can be a lifelong challenge. But imagine if you were allergic to something that you need in order to live. Aquagenic urticaria is an ailment in which a person is allergic to water. After skin contact with water, people can report hives and itching, regardless of its temperature. It most commonly affects women, and symptoms often start around the onset of puberty. There are only 50 documented cases of this condition. One person with this condition reported only being able to take 5-minute cold showers twice a week. 9. Mal-de-Debarquement Syndrome. Nobody likes feeling seasick, but imagine if you felt that way even when you were on dry land. Mal-de-Debarquement Syndrome is a neurological defect usually occurring after a cruise, aircraft flight, or other sustained motion event. The phrase mal-de-débarquement is French and translates to illness of disembarkation. MDDS is typically diagnosed by a neurologist or an ear, nose, and throat specialist when a person reports a persistent rocking, swaying, or bobbing feeling, though they are not necessarily rocking. One woman with the condition reported experiencing seasickness for 5 years. Recently, MDDS has gotten increased attention in the scientific community as they try to study what causes the condition and how it can be cured. 10. Anton-Babinski Syndrome. Most blind people are aware of the fact that they're blind, but you'd be surprised to know that some aren't. Anton-Babinski Syndrome is a rare real-life medical condition in which a blind person doesn't realize that they are blind. These patients are usually unaware of what objects that are in front of them and light changes, thus proving their blindness. Why patients with Anton syndrome deny their blindness is unknown. There have been only 28 documented cases of this condition. How many of these real-life medical conditions have you heard of? Do you know any that should have been included on this list? Let us know in the comments. We hope you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. This is Top Tips, tipping you off.